let's discuss the essentials of a valid acceptance. Firstly, an acceptance must be absolute and unqualified. According to the Indian Contract Act, a communication of acceptance must be absolute and unqualified, and any acceptance with a slight variation as well would amount to a mere cross offer rather than an acceptance. For example, A offers to sell his house to B for 1000 rupees and B responds, yes, I can buy, but for 800 rupees. In this scenario, B's communication of what is supposedly an acceptance is not a valid acceptance. Rather, it is a mere counter offer. Now, if A responds, yes, alright, 800 works, this would amount to a valid communication of acceptance and contract. However, if A says, no, this wouldn't work for me, and B responds that, okay, then I will pay you 1000 rupees, even that would amount to a counter offer. Why? Because B had already rejected the initial offer by offering a counter offer of 800 rupees. However, a mere variation in the acceptance would not amount to a cross offer if the variation is not superficial or not super important. For example, if A offers to sell his house to B and B agrees to purchase the house by saying that, provided my lawyers confirm your ownership of the house. Now, this confirmation of ownership is a mere technical procedure and a formality and would not amount to nullifying the acceptance made by B. A lot of times in industrial or commercial contracts, parties provide their acceptance by saying that it is subject to contract or subject to a valid legal contract. In such scenarios, their acceptance is valid, however, it is just subject to a professionally drafted contract, which is useful in such contracts. The second condition is that acceptance must be communicated to the offerer. Now, an acceptance is no acceptance if it is only made a mental note of and not really communicated. An acceptance can be communicated either by words, that is express, or by conduct, that is an implied acceptance. For example, if A sent an offer to B for delivery of certain goods from B's end, and B reads the offer and keeps the offer in his drawer after writing approved on it. Now, even though he has approved the contract, it was never communicated to A. So, A made a contract with somebody else. However, the day on which goods were supposed to be delivered from B got delivered to A and A refused to accept it. Now, here A is not bound to accept the goods because he was not communicated about the acceptance from B's end. Further, an acceptance cannot be implied from a mere silence unless previously agreed to. For example, if A sold a horse to B or offered to sell a horse to B and wrote in his offer that if no communication is made from your end, I will assume that you have accepted. This cannot amount to a valid contract because silence or a condition of providing silence cannot amount to a valid acceptance. However, in such a scenario, for example, B and A had a conversation previously where B had said to A that if I fail to respond in 2 days, please understand that I have approved it and agreed to it, but I am quite busy. In such a scenario where there has been a previous communication of silence amounting to acceptance, that would translate to a valid acceptance. Now, third condition is that acceptance must be in the mode prescribed. For example, A and B decide that acceptance must be made by post only, and if B made a telephone call and said to A that I accept your offer, such acceptance would not be a valid acceptance because it was not made in the mode prescribed or adhered to. As is obvious, acceptance must be made before the offer is terminated, revoked or rescinded by the offerer. If the offer lapses, there is clearly nothing to accept. Now, what about agreements to agree in future? In India, agreements to agree in future are not valid agreements. The agreement must either be certain at the time it is being agreed to or must be capable of being made certain later on. For example, A was hired as an actress on a provincial tour. Now, the contract provided that if the party goes to London, then A would be hired for further contractual position at a term mutually agreed to between the parties. However, this contract is not a valid contract because it is neither certain nor capable of being made certain. Let's come to the concept of communication of offer, acceptance and revocation. Clearly, an offer must be communicated to the offeree and an acceptance of that offer must be communicated to the offerer. Similarly, revocation of either the offer or the acceptance must be communicated to the parties concerned, or else those would not be valid revocation. According to Section 4 of the Indian Contract Act, communication of an offer is complete when it reaches the offeree or to the person to whom it is being made. For example, A proposes by letter to B to sell his house. Now, communication of such an offer would be complete when the letter reaches B and not any time before that. Now, completion of acceptance has two aspects. It can either be made against the proposer and against the acceptor, and both have to be completed. Now, communication is complete as against the proposer when the person who is sending the acceptance puts it into the transmission so that it comes out of his power. For example, B sends his acceptance by letter to A. The moment B leaves the letter or letter comes out of the possession of B, acceptance is complete as against A, who is the proposer. However, acceptance against the acceptor is complete when the letter actually reaches the proposer. So, in this example, acceptance against B will be complete only when the letter is read by A. Revocation of a proposal or acceptance follows the similar method of being completed against the person revoking it and against the person to whom the communication is being made to. There is an important concept of communication over telephone or telex. So, clearly, communication can either happen face to face or by post and or by telephone. Now, when persons are face to face, clearly the contract gets completed or made the moment communication happens face to face. But over telephone, it has to be ensured that the communication reaches the other party. In the previous example that we were discussing, when B was communicating his confirmation over telephone, what happens if there is a network glitch or if the voice suddenly breaks? The moment the voice breaks and communication does not reach A, the contract will not be complete and it will not be a valid offer or a contract. This is for the video on offer and acceptance. See you guys in the next video. Thank you.